Yeah, it's been 3 days since my last post, and I did end up taking myself to the doctors. It turns out I've got a clot in my left leg. It's meant to be pretty big, and it's been causing me grief all over the weekend. Even venturing in to get an ultrasound that Friday afternoon, just about wrecked me. And I've been laid back ever since. But something positive has come of it in the sense that I realise today and take full responsibility for the fact that my lifestyle has or is solely to blame for that. I smoke cigarettes, I drink Coca-Cola, I lounge around all day, hoping one day to find that connection with the powers at be, who are then in turn going to manipulate the lottery system for a win on my behalf, and it's all going to be grand. And I've realised that that's just wishful thinking, and that as soon as I inhale on a cigarette, it creates a certain degree of separation between myself and reality, in the sense that I feel like I'm being soothed once again, like for a very brief interval, as a child, after I'd been traumatized. I was comforted. Someone put their arm around me. They spoke to me in a very soothing, self-assuring, and caring manner. They were very compassionate. And I was given a sugary drink. Which connected me straight back to the experience I had prior to the trauma. That was pure distortion, basically. And yet I thought for 40 fucking years, or even longer, 44 years, that it was fundamental to the well-being of not only myself but to reality itself. So it's taken me a long time to acknowledge that that was distortion, because it was fucking grand in nature. It was exquisite. It was exceptional and extraordinary, and it led to an apotheosis. And it's affected my ability to be able to factor into a sane and healthy theory of mind. That others are basically not my pawns to move around on a chessboard as I see fit. And that's another thing that's been coming to the fore of late. How others perceive me. Because at times I feel guilty. And there was a lot of guilt that I carried about something that wasn't in my conscious mind. And that's the fact that generally, in most social settings, I try to keep up a pretense that I'm mystical, calm, and collected. But, the truth of the matter is, that I'm just scanning and observing, because I'm looking for one of those benevolent individuals that are going to show me some sort of love, empathy, and compassion. A hen, basically, that's going to mother me. And, that was at the subconscious as well. So for me, generally, I can't be upfront with individuals, because I'm playing the survivor game, where, I employ a personality trait that became established, in order to cope with and survive in, some, a really harsh environment. So I heard of the word a few years ago, but I'm only really just starting to acknowledge it. It's not like I'm a master at it, but I get a sense that, this fucking, the dark personality triad, in regards to narcissism, psychopathy, and Machiavellianism. I learnt Machiavellianism from my father. And the other two, psychopathy. Whenever I became psychotic, I used to be able to control my brother with fear. Or that's how our personal dynamic evolved. When I was narcissistic, I could entertain, beguile, and charm my mother. So I never became fully established in one, or I'm only just starting to realise now which one, I do prefer, especially when it becomes, comes to forming relationships. It's Machiavellianism. What can I get from you? How am I going to use you? And how am I going to survive you? And I have no control over that. That's instinctive. And the more I tried to undo that, the deeper into psychosis I went. Because they say you're a product of your environment, and I rejected and disowned the environment I grew up in. And when I smoke a cigarette, I can always escape to a place that's more fulfilling in that illusion. That's the big thing. I come to call it an illusion. Because cigarettes aren't my fucking friend. The pain I'm in at times today and over the weekend is a result of fucking cigarette, caffeine and sugar, and a poor fucking lifestyle. A very self-indulgent one. So I don't feel ashamed about it. But I know it's going to take effort in order to change the routine I have in my life. I don't know if I'll ever be able to resolve, those 3 personality traits. But it's a relief to know that I don't have to walk around, keeping up a false pretense, that I can emulate others who are in touch with their feelings and emotions, and connect with individuals through that spectrum. For me, it's all pseudo, it's all false. It's something I can only achieve in my imagination. Whether that changes, with the decision I've made to quit smoking and drinking caffeine and sugar, that, I wonder if it'll change. But anyway, I've been talking long enough. I think I'll post this. Got a new subscriber. How you going? And it's not like I'm looking for hundreds and thousands, but sometimes I feel like, this is the only impression that I'll leave on life and society, by posting these videos. So, peace.